and messaging. Joining me now with new details is CBS News White House reporter Jackie Alemany. Welcome on set, Jackie.
Thanks,
good to
Rena.
see you.
Thanks for having me.
So new details on a White House shakeup. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so much like the way Trump won his campaign was flouting mainstream media. Communicating with voters directly. And that's what we're going to see a reversion to in this White House. President Trump is coming back to the White House tonight from a relatively successful trip in terms of at least what we see at home right now. And he needs to find a way to be able to push his legislative agenda and not have it imperiled by this investigation and the constant focus on the investigation. So, one thing Trump does know is that while he's unpopular, the press is even more unpopular. The American people do not trust us, unfortunately. So he's going to take advantage of that. He's going to try to communicate with voters more directly going forward. What you're going to see is an increase in rallies. He was supposed to have a rally in Iowa on Thursday, although that's been postponed. It's unclear why at the moment. There's going to be less briefings, more direct press conferences. One thing that the White House is toying with right now that Trump is going to be presented with when he gets home is the idea of the president himself holding press conferences every 2 weeks. A source close to the White House told me yesterday that the president doesn't see the use in Spicer's briefings anymore.
Why,
it's just
Jackie? Why do you think that is?
It's a device for Sean really to get beat up. Reporters ask him the same questions on a day-to-day basis, and oftentimes the messaging that his press team will put out, for example, if you look at the firing of Director Comey, the White House press team delivered the same message 4 days in a row. And on Thursday, President Trump gave an interview himself with NBC's Lester Holt that really undercut that whole message. So there's really a futility to these press briefings, and there's going to be less of them. There's also going to be a lot more Facebook Lives and just direct streaming. So the White House is really going to start trying to go over our heads.
Yeah. It's interesting because you were talking about there's two different narratives with the communications team and his team, but it's not uncommon in a White House that they have an internal communication and an external, a division outside. Are you hearing that could be a possibility?
Yeah. So the changes behind the scenes that we're not going to directly see is going to be the implementation of a rapid response messaging system. So they haven't quite figured things out yet. Again, they're going to present this to the president when he gets home. Decisions will be made as soon as this weekend, potentially. But what they want to do is compartmentalize all of the incoming on the Russia investigation. It is so overwhelming. It's all they have to deal with. It's hard for them to be proactive on the legislative front. So what they're going to do is potentially implement this external group that, when inquiries about the Russia investigation come into the White House, they'll automatically field it to this external group that will be able to handle the messaging. The external group will also run a surrogate circuit. Right now, the president is super frustrated sometimes when he's watching television, according to sources inside the White House, that he doesn't see enough people out there defending him. There is no professionalized system. It's sort of ad hoc. You see a lot of people defending him on CNN. There are paid contributors, but he doesn't have a circuit that's sort of run by an external group. So that's going to be really important, getting his message across on radio, TV, and the internet. And
do we know the names, Jackie, that are being floated, whether inside or outside the White House?
There have been a few new names added to the mix floated around. Corey Lewandowski, President Trump's former campaign manager, is a name that's been mentioned often. And, he regularly visits the White House. People catch glimpses of him walking in and out of the West Wing. And then Dave Bossie, his former deputy campaign manager, is also being considered to play a part in the new messaging system. Our Steve Shigaris reported that, it's unclear whether or not these two people will play roles inside or outside. But we have confirmed that Mark Kasowitz, a prominent New York attorney, will play a role in organizing the outside group and sort of providing a legal front for President Trump.
It's interesting to see he's reverting back to his old campaign hands. Our Jackie Alemany joining us now. So good to have you on set, Jackie.
Thanks, Rena.
Thank you.